Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. I am here to share this journal that is available. I will put my link below to my Instagram. It is Jen's Junk, 2 N's, JENNS _ junk _. I'm kind of trying a different style that I've been wanting to do for a while. But I love, you know, the vintage sewing patterns and all of that. But before I started with those, I thought I would take the same idea and use try the Reader's Digest. I know that's a favorite. A lot of people like the hardcover. I will also be making some soft covers eventually, but right now I'm just going to try it and see if this is something y'all like from me. Y'all tend to like opposite sometimes of what I not what I like to do, but you know what I'm trying to say. So yes, I should have probably made this spine about a ½ inch bigger, but I'm going to show you how you can take the things out when you get the journal, put them in a little bag that I will send you, or a little box, a fun like reusable bagger box, and then you will have a blank journal to fill as you're ready. Okay, so the idea of this is, it's like my idea of this was to be a mom's journal in like the 50s and 60s, so like a mid-century mom's journal. So I collect, if you've been watching me, you know it, estate sales and such for my journals and for myself, vintage pens. So I chose to put this green floral one with the gold pot. I love this. This is green. This is my favorite color, green, right here. So I love this, but it's 2 little flower pots, and so I chose to put that on the front there. And then I made, this is just some fabrics that I have a lot of the different colors of, inspired by Carla, Miss Carla Frizzell. So I wanted to close it where you could close it down really tight. So it's just stitched 4 different types of fabric just on both sides. So that's the closure. Okay, so on this spine, first of all, there's over 140 pages front and back in this journal, but I'll put the information exactly below. So I put this vintage button at the top here. There's an eyelet closure up here at the top, so this is on really well with twine, but when I journal with these types, I just put my charms up top. And y'all know I always intertwine my tassels and mess them up, but so I put a vintage metal, it looks like a military button that I had gotten, a little sunflower charm. There's different colors of wood beads on here, mostly green, lavender, blue. Here's a little metal camera. And then I put this little charm with a little November birthstone of a man or a little boy, because I thought, you know, she may have a soldier son or a husband or something. And so I have some of these old guitar picks, and so I just put a hole in it, put it there. I thought maybe he played guitar. And so this was just a piece of jewelry that had, you know, been broken off. That was an old brooch that I thought that might have been her mom's. And so here's a feather. She loves the outdoors, and she has children, so she loves to play and take them outdoors. I put the word home here with these beads. Here's a silver locket. I had gotten a set of these years ago at a scrapbook expo in the jewelry making class, and I found those last night. It has a rose on it, and so you can actually put something in that locket. So here's a key. Here's a vintage yellow button, and then a Tim Holtz piece that says story, and then here's some little baby feet. And then here's another piece of a broken piece of jewelry that I thought was beautiful, and it could be hers or her mom's. And then you can clip, I left the lobster clasp on so you can clip something else on here if you would like. And then here's like an upholstery button. Upholstery, I said that wrong. And then here's a ball charm that I just put some dried lavender in and then glued the top where it would be sealed. So again, I'm gonna show you how I do when I get my journals. If I order a journal, how I take it out, put the things aside. That's how you will receive it, so it won't be so bulky. So this is I had received for my birthday from my friend Gingy a pack of, she had ordered me the Seeds of Fabric from Amity Bloom. And so I used a lot of fabric pieces from Nazzie's shop from Amity Bloom, as well as some pieces from Moonsideparlour, Crafty Paper Bits, Jessica Wrap, two silver oranges, a lot of French ephemera. There is a lot of vintage pieces and shops in here that I will link them all below that I did use from. But a majority of the fabrics are from the Amity Bloom pieces. So this piece was part of that. It has a butterfly here on the back. It's like a tapestry fabric. So I just left it. I thought about putting some rickrack or something down here, but I'll include some extra in here. And if you want to add that or some trim like this or something, you know, you can do that. But I just liked it like this. So I left the inside blank because the book is in such great condition. So I reinforced it with this blue rose fabric. So the first page is a Dick and Jane book, and they're eating cookies. And so I love these colors. Like, my dream is to have a craft room in these colors and this style. I love it. It has some Maggie Holmes papers. Here's a little replica of a milk cap from Tim Holtz. I thought would be cute since they're eating their little cookies. And so here's a pocket here. I stitched a lot in here. I put these pieces of fabric. These are pieces that I had gotten off of eBay. These were not from Nazzie's shop, but they are from that era. So I thought, you know, the mom would be keeping, you know, samples of fabric to use. And so here is some fabric from Miss Amity's collection, and or Miss Nazzie's rather. So I just folded it over and stitched it. And you could cut it and use it behind your photos or whatever. You could just journal. So here's a library card. And then we have a vintage seed packet. I put some nature, a lot of nature things in here. Like this is from a, I think it's the Birds of North America Reader's Digest book. This is some linen paper. And I just clipped a Project Life card. I thought those colors were so kitschy and cute to go in there. This is some paper from Jessica Wrap Two Silver Oranges shop. That is really fun. It's from 1908 on here. So this mom, she kept her, you know, some of her grandmother's and her dad's things. That's what I'm thinking as I was making this journal. So this is just from a book, obviously, about a butterfly. This is from a Gwen Frostic book. It's just about a poem about spring. And this is from a flower seed book because she, you know, needed to plant her garden. And so I stitched on this little piece here of embroidery that I've had. I have some of these pieces. I got this idea here from, I mean, I know people's probably done it, but I was watching Pam's Paper Place the other day, and Miss Pam had folded up a popcorn bag like this and used it to store the items, and I thought, well, that's a good idea. So I just stitched this seam binding in this fabric on this claim check and put a little, one of these vintage little tags here. And on the inside of this, you could put a lot of things in here, but I put a sheet of the book, the day book that I'll pull from a lot with the aged tape and stuff. This is from April of 1969 and May. April and May, first, you know, and last. And this is also from that book, so the names and phone numbers. Here's the coffee cake recipe book. Apple cake, nutty muffin, raisin ring, it says. Or a type of coffee cake bread. Here's a vintage recipe card. And then I just put a piece of brown parchment paper, because I like using those to make envelopes and stuff. That's fun. So on the back of this page is just a vintage children's dictionary. This I stitched in, and this is a doily. Yes, it's discolored, but it's just naturally. This is, when I had gotten this lot of doilies, they said this was from the 1800s, so I don't know. From the books I look at it, I believe it possibly could be so. And my mama's knowledge of them, I believe so, but so I figured that was her grandmother, great-great-grandmother's doily that she put in there. Some more Maggie Holmes paper, and I clipped in, I pinned these little pieces of vintage trims here. I had won these on a lot on eBay also, these white trims. So those are in there. This is some vintage ledger paper from Jessica Rapp, Two Silver Oranges shop. Look how beautiful the penmanship or whatever you call it, that is beautiful. This is from Nazzie's shop, these little bits here. All of the ones that are cut with the scalloped edge scissors are. This is from a cottage book that I have that I love, and so I just love that green door and the copper pots on the wall. Like, that is so my style. I love that. So I put, I made a little book page pocket, and I used just basic paper clips in this because I figured back then, you know, there wasn't the fun teardrop, you know, kind, so or not back then, y'all know what I mean. So I made just out of a Curious George book, a little bunny for Easterish time. This is out of a Strawberry Notepad book, and this is just some trim that or I'm sorry, some fabric that I had a ruffle out of, and I just glued it down on both sides. But it has that, oh, what's it called? I can't think. Little girls wear it a lot, that type of fabric. This is out of a vintage 50s cookbook that I have. And this is just a sample of some of the beautiful wallpaper that I have from Sarah at Crafty Paper Bits Shop, I believe, that may be moonsideparlour, but either way, they'll all be linked below. But this is beautiful. If y'all have seen lately, I've used some of this, just pieces on the covers of my journals, inside on tags, collaged tags, so you can do all the fun things with that. And then this is a from 1950s, a bakery receipt. So I thought those were fun. This is actually out of an 80s catalog, but you know, we all either wanted or we had a Barbie doll cake. So there's the Barbie doll cake there. So I just put some little seam binding and fabric here and made these into pockets right here. And then I glued the back of the order form of the cake pans. I thought that was fun. This is just a sheet of vellum. I stitched this Maggie Holmes Project Life card on. I thought the colors went well. Here is a Dick and Jane book. These are two different books. One is a reproduction with a glossy type paper, and this is original with the matte paper. So, of course, she's folding her laundry and smiling, and then this side says home, and so I love that. And then here's a card you can alter from a trivia game that says family. This, I had one off of a vintage lot of trims from eBay. I love how that is. I just layered it over and then just stitched it so it's on both sides. And so you can journal on vellum, or you can put a photo here, or you can, you know, whatever you want, but it works as a tuck spot also. Here's a coffee dyed guest check. Here's a vintage birthday card, and it's even signed in here. From your loving cousins, Marie and Luther Wright. Sorry, we are a little late for your birthday. And so I stitched it like I usually do in the center where it opens up and you can journal, or you can cut it and use the other part somewhere else. And it also serves as a tuck spot back here as well. Here's the train, little cupcake pan. And then I stitched some craft paper here to journal on and put a little sheet of vintage note paper there because, I mean, you can't really see the clown here, but there's, you know, a little, it's like a little Jack in the Box, it looks like, with a little wind up thing. Anyways, I know some people don't really like those, so you can just glue something over it and write. But I just didn't leave him showing just in case. So I put this little piece of this little cute little boy notepad in here. And then here's, I love the imagery, the colors of this cookbook is so pretty. Here's more of that strawberry. I wish I could think of what that fabric's called. Okay, so here I just stitched 3 of these yo-yos right here, so you can cut them off and use those however you would like. And I had gotten those from Uniquely Ella's shop. The other side of that ledger, that is just beautiful, beautiful handwriting. So here I just put some rickrack down through here, and this is a an old, I read it and I think it's like you swap in points to get cigarettes coupon, but I thought, hey, Mama in 1960, she might have been, you know, going outside sometimes. So here's the other side of that doily. You could glue this down and make this a pocket, or you could cut this off, just don't cut it all the way down to here and use it as the fabric. This fabric, I believe, was from Moonsideparlour, and I just stitched it over this dictionary paper to make a pocket with a flash card. And then on the other side, I just lapped it over, and that's also a tuck spot. The other side of that Gwen Frosted, but this paper, the texture, it just feels so good. Here's the other side of that butterfly book page, and I just stitched a ruffle here out of some fabric I have. And here's the other side of that 1908 yellow paper ledger. So here, this is just a little bitty tuck from this linen paper, and I just put another piece of that fabric from Nazzie's collection, and I just thought the mom may want to paint the little girl's room probably a brighter pink back then than ballet slippers, but I like the ballet slippers color. I would like my craft room that color. That's pretty. And then this is, I got some friend mail from my friend Joanne. And these colors, it just went so perfectly. So these are here for the mom's little girl I was thinking. And this was clipped to the other side. And these balloons I thought looked really pretty on this journaling card to go with that. In this pocket, I put the pom-pom trim up top here so it would hang out of the top of the book. This is from an old gardening book about fertilizers and pests, and looks like it's talking about bone broth or something. I don't know, I really didn't read it. So here is a postcard, a beautiful postcard. This is actually in some postcards I had gotten off eBay last year, and they're from the early 1900s. So she was probably saving that she had found in her mom's stuff that she had put up in my imagination. So this starts the second signature, and there's a gap here so that way, you know, it will lay. See, it lays flat for you to journal. Like, there's totally flat. So I stitched on this bird card here. Here's a coffee dyed guest check. I used another piece of the fabric from the Bloom pack just as a little topper. And this goes like that. And then this is just, I had gotten an estate sale, or in some stuff from an estate sale. And it just says, Aunt Kit and Uncle Joe, thanks for the money you gave me for my graduation from college. It was very thoughtful of you all. Thanks always for being a special part of my life. And so I thought she was keeping that. And you can always, like, you know, put some coffee dyed paper over this and use it to journal yourself. Or a white gel pen would be beautiful on this. So right here we have this handwriting paper with the flowers on from a collection I had. Oh no, my friend Michelle sent me this. So this is just out of an embroidery book, because you know that she stitched and embroidered and did all the things like that. This was from a book I have from the 50s that there's not many pages in it, so I'm very choosy with this book, but it just has different Bible verses and stuff. And this is talking about, it always says for mother and father to read to you. In the book it says on all the pages. So here's some more fabric from Nazzie's Bloom pack. I'll just use pieces. I've saved some for another journal or two. And so this is out of a vintage little golden book. I love this little boy blowing the dandelion. It's so cute. And then this little girl looking at the little bunnies. So cute. This is a vintage label that I had ordered some of. And here is another vintage cookbook page. Here's a square doily. If I can get this off carefully. And I put another card in here, but this has, I guess that's forget-me-nots maybe, with a pink guest check. Here's where she was keeping info on some herbs, dill and chives. This, I figure she's probably well-traveled or has family somewhere, because this is another authentic piece from France, and this was a piece from a, it was either a magazine or I think it was a play. I'm not sure. I have two different pieces or little booklets, but this is from one of those. So this is some yellow, an old envelope, but it's yellow on the inside, so I like that. That's from my friend Michelle. This is some more ledger from Jessica's shop. It's from 1924, so I just put this in there. I figured she was probably jotting down the numbers. if y'all heard someone coming serenading you, that was my husband downstairs. I thought it was my son, but I'm laughing the fact that it was actually my husband singing really loud. Okay, so this was also from Jessica's packet of French things, but it's just, I mean, you know, it's just a map page. But so this is a vintage. I'm not sure what these are because I use them, I order them, I like them, but I don't know if it's a bus ticket. But either way, there's that. And so then, here's a page out of a sewing book about the home. So I figured she probably made her bedspreads, slip covers for the couch. And fun fact, if I could find it, I would put it in here. But I found an article in one of my vintage catalogs about Rit dye. And it was like, do you want to change your bedspread color? Try Rit dye. And I was thinking, can you imagine us taking like our goose down comforters that are white and just dyeing them with Rit dye just to see if it works? Like, I just can't imagine. I need to find that. That would be fun to put in here. So here's a piece of note paper from my friend Lynette. Here's some pom-pom trim I put at the bottom of this page. And then here's a Bible book page that an old Bible I tear from. I figured she probably, you know, studied the word some. And so here's a vintage envelope, and I put a piece of this beautiful wallpaper. This is either from Sarah Crafty Paper Bits or Ruby and Pearl XO shop. I'm not sure. I have a haul. It's called Birthday Blessings, and it will show you the things that I'm but so here's just some rickrack. I figured she probably went around singing hymns, so I just, you know, got one that I thought was an older one, you know. And then here's out of a handyman book, because of course she kept her husband's business in her book too. And so this is his blueprints, I guess, for his shop he was wanting to build. So this right here is the paper. No, this is actually out of a book page, a needlepoint book page. I thought it was a sewing book, but... And so I had this clipped as a button card, and I just stitched to make a pocket on the back and put some British bus tickets in here and a Rolodex card. So yeah, it's just showing you how to smock. This is actually an old booklet from going towards Chattanooga, Tennessee. From like the 50s or 60s, so I figured maybe they traveled. And then here's a little skee ball point amusement park ticket stapled to that. This is the center of this signature is Maggie Holmes. I think the Flourish collection maybe. And then here's just a fun tag with the charm and some blue seam binding. Here's the other side of that, going towards Chattanooga. Here's some more journaling cards that fit with the color scheme. So here, this was actually that first page right here. This was out of the embroidery book. This is out of a pattern, the inside of the pattern. And I double stitched this side so it would be extra thick since it was so thin. So you can journal here and here. And then I only ordered just a few of these, y'all, but I put one in here of these from the 1800s, these calling cards. And so I thought she was probably holding on to that. That was probably her great-grandmother's or something as well. I actually made a little book board for this particular book. So what I did was used an old brown file folder, and I kept these on here because I thought you might want to put something on that. And then I just stitched one of the little cardstock inserts inside my sewing book, and it already had the holes punched, so I just put different. You can take those off and use them on tags or whatever. But it's also a pocket as well as making a, you know, hard surface to write on. Here's the other side of that Fix-It book. This is some fabric pieces I had. This is from a When You Were Out, While You Were Out page. This right here is another piece of the French ephemera. It was a letter from 1956 that I figured she was probably sent. And so in here I folded up a whole page of French and English dictionary paper. And then I thought she was probably saving one of her little stamps to mail. I mean, I know she wasn't mailing anything to France for 10 cents back then, but, you know, I don't know. So here's the other side of the, oh, I'm sorry, y'all, I forgot to take this out. Here's the other side of that Bible page, and then I put one of these stamps from Canada from my friend Joanne with this beautiful rose. I figured she probably put that there in her Bible to want to remember to pray for her friend in Canada. She just had friends all over. This woman did. She just knew everybody. And so here is some more upholstery and some bedding out of that book. And so I made this tag. This was the fun tag. I love these colors. So I just put the package of the seam binding I had actually opened that I had this green to use last night, and I just stapled with my tiny attacher it here. And then this is just a replica of a little dance thing, but I thought maybe she wanted to make her daughter a dance dress or something, and you could use that also as a tuck spot. I think my husband hears me talking and thinks I've lost my mind because I'm imagining this lady. Okay, so this is another piece of the fabric from the Amity Bloom pack, as well as this embroidered piece, or not, I'm sorry, this crocheted piece. I just pinned this on here so you can take this off and put it on the cover or do whatever you would like. In the pocket here, I have this really old, I'm almost done, so will you please wait a minute? I have this really old comic book advertisements, and so you get 100 little dolls, all for $1 right here. Mail it in, or you can get amazing X-ray vision instantly. Or she might have loved Elvis right here. It says the King, the one and only, for $1.98. She could get an 8x10 and 2 5x7s and 12 wallets for $1.98 back then. So yeah, that's some fun ads right there. So here's the other side of that ledger, and then I just have, this is the other side of that yellow envelope. You can glue this down or glue something to it to make a full page. I'll just put this vintage flashcard in this little circle here, and it has the children's writing on there, so I like that. And so here's another piece of fabric from the Bloom pack, and then this was some old trim that I actually had, and this is just where the doily had coffee dyed on the paper. I love that. Here's the other side of that doily. Inside it, I just put some old ledger, and then from a 1946 almanac, some flower information. Here's the other side of the one of the recipe pages, and I just put a recipe card and a little lemon die cut and a mason jar die cut. Some more rickrack here. And then on this side, I put a Rolodex card, and then this fun ad. You gotta be careful with these. These are old. But look, you brush on this mask like fingernail polish, and she feels like she has brand new skin. Paint yourself a brand new face for $3.75. And then over here you can get records or tapes, any 5 for $1, or any 13 for $1.97 right here. 8 tracks, tapes, and records. So there's that advertisement. Here's the other side of that little golden book about nature. Here's that little book about God, nature, and this is just some fabric I had, and I still cannot think of the name of that type of, is it seersucker? That's what I'm trying to think, with a little soft. So here's another sewing page, and it's telling the different quilt block styles. This green piece is a piece from the Bloom collection from Amity Bloom, and then I had these pieces here, these little crocheted pieces. I think Cheaply Chic gave me those. So here are 2 little photo slides, or one actually, but it had split apart. But you can alter it, you can alter it into 2. So it was clipped to the other side, and then she was keeping this little tag of this little girl for Christmas because it's just cute. And then I love this page right here from the little golden book about birds, I believe. And so I just made a pocket out of it and put some old pink trim here. And down in this page, I put a field guide book page. And then this really old wrapping paper that I thought was so pretty. And you can use all these things to collage or write on. And then that's the back of that page. So see, when you close it, it looks like that on the outside. And then it is not bulky. It just lays flat. That's just the book poking up. So then it closes like this, and you can choose either side to show. You can tighten a bow, you can cut some of this off. It's totally up to you. So my info will be linked below. If this is not already sold, I'm going to post this on Instagram first this time. But if you are interested, just let me know. And if you like this style and this idea of the mid-century, you know, my imagination of the mid-century life, give me a like and hit that subscribe button for more content, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.